Hi everybody, this is Dee at Aloha Astro, and today we are looking at a new moon in Sagittarius, Friday, December 7th, and I'm just going to read to you what I wrote and posted on my site at alohaastro.com, and you can see we're decorated for the holiday, and you can also find this horoscope posted daily at all of these links, so if you want to follow me at any of them, you can. So today, new moon in Sagittarius, Friday, December 7th, activates the energy of seeking. Sagittarius is a mutable, flexible, adaptable fire sign that has rulership over the 9th house, which is a house of gathering and sharing information and experiences, knowledge, philosophies, teaching, promotion, and travel. You may feel a release of tension and an uplift of your spirit now that the buildup to the new moon has passed, and yes, Mercury retrograde has turned direct. Hopefully red tape will untangle in the days ahead. While a Sagittarius moon transit can always be a good time for adventures and camaraderie, the moon is square to Mars conjunct Neptune in Pisces, cautioning easy does it. You may not have a clear fix on your target or full information. Moving too fast could result in you either missing something better or making a fool of yourself. If you are partying tonight, your tolerance for recreational substances could be low, or you could lose track of your consumption. The same square aspect also indicates you should not lose sight of a goal, give up, or become pessimistic if nothing appears to be shifting yet. In a week when the moon enters Pisces and joins Mars and Neptune, the evidence of today's faith could appear. Finally, trying to understand the why of something may give way to an acceptance of what is, which can allow you to move toward a new what, when, and how. And here's the picture that I found over at Pixabay to illustrate the new moon in Sagittarius. So wherever you happen to have this moon, I don't know what house in your natal chart it might be occurring, but you will have some 9th house issues come up or some Sagittarian overtones. Whatever I mentioned in this posting would still have some effect on you no matter where you have this new moon occurring in your own natal chart. And if you are interested in finding out what's up for you at this new moon and would like a personal reading, I am available. You can access my schedule by clicking here on schedule appointment bar, and it will open up my available times for you. You can reserve a spot for a phone or Skype reading. So let's take a look at the charts for now. The new moon occurred at 2:20 in the morning Eastern Time, and it was loosely conjunct Jupiter in Sagittarius, although just barely. It's no longer an applying aspect, it's a separating aspect, and it's moving away from Jupiter. Mercury is now direct. It will be moving back out of Scorpio over the next few days and into Sagittarius again, and that will definitely help some of the fog to lift once it moves out of a moody water sign, a very intuitive and kind of non-verbal sign, into a much more intellectual type of a sign. So we will have a shift in energy over this week as we go out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius with Mercury, and then we still have this square to contend with, and for a lot of people this is a feeling of almost, like you're almost there. You're seeing some good things on the horizon, or something is beginning to give way, but there are still a lot of unknown factors, or it's easy to give up and feel as though you're not getting anywhere because you don't really see the end in sight yet. So there can be confusion whenever Neptune's involved in a square or an opposition to things like the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, and we will be feeling it. Keep plugging along. Remind yourself that Mercury is now direct and that the fog is lifting, it's clearing, and by the time we get to a week from now, when we get over here to the 14th, we're going to find that the moon has joined Mars and Neptune, and the square is beginning to diminish, and we've got Mercury conjunct Jupiter at that point, and things are definitely on a stronger forward motion where I think we will be seeing some of the things that we've been striving for, especially with a sextile to Pluto that will be rather strong at that time, and a sextile of Venus to Saturn. So we're going to see things become real. I think the point of manifestation will come a full week after this new moon. So you might get some, breadcrumbs. You'll see the beginning of things as we go forward into the new work week. This weekend, with a lot of Sagittarius energy, let's see how Saturday looks. Saturday, we're still under Sag. Sunday, we are still under Sag. So party, visit, go out and travel. Finalize your travel arrangements if you don't have any. If you are doing things last minute and thinking you should get out there and shop, or you should get out there and talk to people about what your travel plans are for the holidays, it is a good time to do that. It's a great time for holiday gatherings, get-togethers, parties. The only caution, as I wrote, is watch out for the substance intake, because you're liable to be having such a good time that you lose track of what you're consuming, both, beverage and food-wise. And the square there with Neptune and Mars can cause some extreme reactions in terms of your body and your tolerance level. You may find that you can't really handle what you thought you could. So just be careful with the drinking and stuff, and don't overdo. And you should be able to enjoy your time this weekend with a lot of socializing, traveling, parties, going out, seeing friends, and focus on that over the course of this weekend. Now, in terms of other ninth house issues that may be affecting you, besides travel, there is also the idea of what are your ideals? So what are your aims, your goals? What is most important to you from the spiritual or philosophical level, and sometimes too educationally, because Sagittarius rules that ninth house, and one of the things that happens to deal with is higher education. So if you are thinking about you need to go back to school, or thinking that you should start writing that novel that you've set aside and get back to it maybe, or maybe it's time to learn something new or start a class, whether you're giving it or receiving it, you might be seeking some knowledge or information in the upcoming weeks. And this could be the little seed that's planted that makes you think, maybe I should look at what that online college is offering, or maybe you should update a resume if you're thinking about moving toward career advancement, because it is not long before we're looking at lunations occurring in the Capricorn season, and that can be very focused on striving or career or getting ahead. So if you need to get that type of stuff together now that Mercury is direct, take a look at where you might want to be working, or where you might want to be advancing yourself in terms of education that would affect your career in the future. So I think that's about it on the transits. It's actually a pretty mellow new moon from the perspective of what signs are tough and which signs are easy. And Sagittarius is Jupiter ruled, and it tends to be light-hearted or very active and growth-oriented. So things should be relatively easier than some other moons might be, and we are in a holiday season. So reach out to other people, lift people up, be social. So the Sabian symbol for 16 degrees of Sagittarius is seagulls fly around a ship in expectation of food. Keynote: the easily acquired dependence of psychic desires upon the stimulation of social circumstances. And when I looked this over last night, my brain kind of fried and short-circuited, and I don't feel like I have any greater clarity reading it today, but here we go. Animals drawn into the circle of what human society produces find it easier to depend on man's handouts than to pursue their usually difficult search for sustenance. The seagulls here symbolize the more wild and normally untamable energies of the human soul, but they too can develop a land of domesticated dependence upon the byproducts of man's adventures within the realm of the unconscious, the sea. Natural instincts feed on the reactions and often perversions of the socially conditioned mind-ego. This is the first stage in the process represented by the 50-second sequence of 5 symbols. It shows us how nature can readily become subservient to man's restless ambition to dominate the entire biosphere through an all-human planetary socio-economic organization. This is a symbol of dependence. I also looked at it from another perspective too, in that it seems that people tend to flock to what is either most culturally popular or what comes easiest. And then, we turn into couch potatoes, or we get lazy, or we don't use our own talents to go and do something for ourselves or to express our own unique individuality. So I got a different take on this. I don't know. What do you get from this? All the Sabian symbols really are a deeper look at the degree that the planet or moon or whatever is going on, looking at the meaning behind it, and it's a meaning that was given through psychic intuition. And it was assigned to each of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. There may be something in this for you, or maybe there is not. I feel like it's more about using your own abilities and not just being one of the many or one of the flock, and not taking the easier way and ignoring your own natural abilities or talents. So that's what I get. Again, there may be something personal in it for you. And I don't know if it's so much about dependence as choosing to go with least resistance. And sometimes I think the people who become centers of attention or popular or celebrities or whatever, I feel like they are resistors. And I think sometimes resisting what is the norm or the status quo and listening instead to what your own inner guidance is probably what makes somebody a magnet to others, because others want to be able to get some of that energy. They subconsciously admire what that person has done, whether they're infamous or famous. That they have something, they've acted out upon something within them, and other people are drawn toward that and basically hold them up energetically because they've done that. So while Sagittarius energy is about seeking, and here we have the seagulls up in the air expecting something, flying around a center thing, we can look at Sagittarius, the archer, aiming for its target. I would take the higher perspective, step outside of the group, and look at what's inside you in terms of your talents and abilities and your dreams and desires, and act upon that. So that's it for this new moon update, and the next time we talk, it will be around the full moon. I believe that's on the 22nd, and I look forward to seeing you then. Be safe and happy and healthy, and enjoy this holiday season. Take care.